Okay, let's go, kids.
Mornings are busy in the Evans household. Stuart's kids all have different personalities and different tastes.
The morning routine can be hit and miss. It can be absolute chaos. And getting school lunchboxes ready, trying to teach the kids that vegetables such as carrots, little catchphrases like, you know, carrots are nature's lolly, stuff like that. I just try and steer the kids in that direction.
But sometimes it can feel like the odds are stacked against you.
The advertising, just the amount of fast food available in the area, it's disturbing how much they're exposed to it, and it must be really difficult. It's colourful, it's bright, it's attractive.
Fast food, sugary drinks, lollies. South Australia and the Australian Capital Territory have laws restricting unhealthy food advertising on public transport. But outside of that, food advertising in Australia is mostly industry self-regulated. All of this fast food is just a few blocks away from where Stuart and his family live.
We try to feed our children and not just duck out and buy fast food. In our suburbs, we've got large tracts that are saturated with fast food, advertising of fast food, the colourful signage, seeing it on the internet all over the place, seeing it in print magazines, on buses as they drive past, all sorts of things everywhere.
With a decline in tobacco smoking, being overweight or obese has become the leading disease risk factor in the country, and some researchers say tackling marketing is the first step to improving our health. Professor Gina Trapp is a researcher looking at food and how our environment shapes our diets, including ads.
If you were to come straight out of the train, you get hit with outdoor advertising just like this one. You can see it's rotating through a number of unhealthy ads. We've got alcohol, we've got fast food, we've got sugar-sweetened beverages, and it's ads like these that are really contributing to the obesity epidemic we're experiencing here in Australia.
Professor Trapp recently had a look at just how common advertisements for unhealthy foods are around schools, using Perth as a case study.
There were 9 times as many ads for unhealthy foods than there were for healthy foods. If you were a Perth secondary school student taking the train to school, one stop, then getting on a bus and then walking to the school gate, so a journey of about 5 kilometres, you were being exposed to around 15,000 outdoor ads for unhealthy foods if you were taking that same route each day across the school year. What was also really concerning was the amount of unhealthy food advertisements on government property. For example, 90% of all of the food ads that were on buses were for unhealthy foods.
Independent MP for Mackellar, Dr. Sophie Scomps, has been pushing for new laws to restrict junk food advertising on TV, radio and social media.
For a long time, there's been this culture of blaming the individual for their weight, but we know about the social determinants of health. We need to be creating healthy environments that promote health, and we need to be particularly looking at our children, making sure that the environment that we bring them up in is one that allows them to live a healthy life. Currently, kids will see over 100 ads or more on social media each week for junk food.
In a statement, the Health Minister Mark Butler said he's commissioned a feasibility study on options for limiting unhealthy food marketing, and the results are expected in the first half of this year.
I would really hope that the government jumps on board with this. They will have all the evidence backing them behind them. They've done the feasibility study. We've had a year of evidence in the diabetes inquiry from public health, from stakeholders, from industry about this. We are ready to go, and it makes common sense. And if we really do care about the health of our children, then this is something that we really must do.
The Australian Association of National Advertisers is pushing back. In a statement, CEO Josh Falk said Australia's industry self-regulation was already some of the strictest in the world. The association's guidelines include prohibiting unhealthy food advertisements from targeting children. He also said advertising bans in other countries weren't working to reduce obesity rates. It's something the Cancer Council disputes. Ainsley Sartori leads the organisation's Food and Movement Programs team in Western Australia.
We know that when these types of ads are restricted, as happened in other jurisdictions around the world, such as London, we know that it has a consequential decline in consumption in those areas. The Commonwealth Government has got a big role to play in implementing restrictions on social media, on television, in sports sponsorship, and then local governments as well. Local governments have got control over bus stops and bus shelters, so local governments can play a part too.
I'd like to see the volume of advertising and where it is change. My children's health is paramount importance to me. These are formative years, and what they're doing now is really going to shape them as adults.